Hello, welcome back to the channel. Wow, look at that view, look at that glass. You know what, this room just wouldn't be the same without this bifold door. You can just slide it along sideways and the room becomes a garden. How delightful. Look at the sun coming in. So this video shows you how to fit a bifold door DIY style. The beauty of fitting a bifold door to a garage room is that you do not need a Fensa certificate because it's not classed as the house, so it's an outbuilding essentially. So you can fit this door yourself, and why don't you just watch this video and I'll show you exactly how to do it.
Bifold delivery time. Voila, there it is. Glass separate. You put that in after you've put the door in. Right, I'm now going to guide you through fitting my bifold door. It's not difficult. If you do everything precisely and get it plumb and level, it should work perfectly fine. Mine does, and this is how I did it. So there's the door put in place. I've literally just lifted that up with my partner and dropped that in the hole. And then I put a spirit level on just to see where I am, just as a kind of starting point, and it wasn't that bad. Okay, so I've got some plastic membrane. That's to go underneath the door, and that acts as a barrier. So if any water dribbles through the threshold, and I've gone through a low threshold door, if the water dribbles through there, it hits the plastic and runs down into the soil below, into the ground below. And there's some packers, 400mm in between, ready to insert. So the next step I did, I opened the doors and put them on a wooden block. I then got my large spirit level to check the levels while putting the red packers underneath. So the red packers are all one size. They're in there and it was slightly off level. As well, I've leveled the doors while they're opening onto the wooden block using packers. So you can see there I've placed packers and wooden blocks under the open doors and making sure they are level as well. Everything needs to be perfectly level. I can't stress that enough. Okay, so I've added 2 blue packers in replace of the red ones. That's to raise the door up there by probably 3 or 4 mil, just to make this door perfectly level. If you'd have noticed on my original picture when I placed the door in the hole, I jammed it with some wooden blocks. These are screwed into the bricks. So the white bits that go down, they're called jams. So I wanted to get them plumb before I even started. So I've packed them up with packers to make sure they're perfectly level and plumb. So here's another top tip. A piece of string from one corner all the way to the other corner, and then from the bottom corner all the way to the top corner. Make sure it's taut. So the 2 pieces of string meet in the middle, and if you can see, what we're trying to do is get these pieces of string just touching. So very accurate. You'll see as I press the string away, not that way, the string is just touching in the middle. That means our door is not skewed in any way. So top tip for you there, quite an important piece. I'd always do this when fitting a bifold door. Again, my door works perfectly. So everything you see here, do it. Okay, to fix the frame, I use concrete screws, 5mm concrete screws with a 4mm masonry bit. Good quality screws and good quality masonry bit. I then marked up a marker, as you can see here, so I didn't drill too deep. I also did a test. Just to keep things precise, I tested the masonry drill bit and the concrete screw into one of the bricks from the wall to make sure it didn't crack the brick and also to make sure it held securely. Luckily, the test went well and I continued with the fixings. So the first step was to get a metal drill bit and drill out the hole, 5mm hole, out of the base of the threshold. The next step was to countersink a hole so the tip of the screw sat flush, if not slightly below, the threshold, because the door slides over this and we need it to clear it easily. The final stage is to screw the screw into the frame, into the brick with the pre-drilled hole. in between the packers. And if you remember, we've put packers every 400 millimeters, so therefore we've got a fixing every 400 millimeters, and that's all around the frame. Okay, so fixing the jambs, again, double check that everything is straight, plumb, and not skewed every time you put a fixing in. And we're gonna put the fixings into the jambs, again, pre-drill into the brick, and then that goes straight through there's a hole cut out of the metal there for us to put our fixing in. Working further up the jambs, there's more space for us just to slip the fixing straight into the wall. Again, every 400 centimeters, working up to the top of the frame now. In this image, you can see the top of the frame and the metal lintel. These are packers, U-shaped packers, and they've packed it level, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to be screwing through the center of these U-shaped packers into the lintel. We're going to drill that lintel with the same metal drilling drill we had used on the threshold. So here's my metal drilling bit drilling through my steel lintel. Now the key to this is pressure, constant pressure and slow drive speed, and it will chip away at that lintel. It's tedious, and the amount of holes you need for a 3-meter door, yeah, it will take a while. But once you've done that, again, masonry drill bit straight through the brick and enter the concrete screws with the packers in between. Again, just checking everything's square. I keep checking. You cannot check too much. My door is in. It's all fixed all the way around. Plumb, level, not skewed. Perfect. Now it's time to fit the glass. So we take the aluminium beading out of each door, as each door has no glass yet. We're going to have to toe and heel the doors, okay? And you have to do this windows and doors. Toe and heel. So we put packers under the glass at the bottom, and we put packers on top of the glass at the top using a glazing tool. And I'm sorry, I haven't taken any pictures of this because I had my hands full doing this, so I struggled taking photos, but I'm going to show you a diagram of how you top and heel with your packers. So get a glazing tool, get some packers, and you lift the glass up, put the packers underneath in the following corners. So if you look at this diagram, this shows packers at the bottom right, top left, top right, bottom left, bottom left, bottom right, and top left. And that's where you want to be toe and heeling your glass, and this strengthens the door, and it's very, very, very important to do this. Otherwise your door will not close and open properly. Every door is different, but mine has aluminium beading. When I've toe and heeled my glass, I then slide the beading back in and it just pops into place. As you can see it there, it's kind of got grooves. You kind of start at one end, get that in, and then push it all the way down to the bottom. Glass fitted, top and heeled, and this is the very first time we open this door, and my wife's helping me out with the video. So, I mean, exciting and scary, but as you can see, and it's the first time she's opened a bifold, it's sliding effortlessly. It was fitted so well, it just slides and glides. So that's what you want to be seeing after you've fitted your doors. Okay, so I have speeded this video up. I fit my doors, and now I'm going around with frame expander foam and filling all the gaps. And this is water resistant, waterproofing, soundproofing, and proofing from pretty much everything. So get that in there, and that seals every nook and cranny. You can trim it off with a Stanley blade afterwards to make it neat and tidy for sealing. What a difference some expander foam around the edges makes. After this was completed, the room just felt completely different. The thermal values and the sound insulation was amazing. It was so quiet in there. So there it is sealed. I will point out, I put frog tape on my frame just so that protects the frame from getting expander foam on it. We didn't want that. And then you can peel the tape off afterwards when you've trimmed down the expander foam. Another job on the bifold is the last job, and it's pushing the rubber trim around the glass. So you basically get this rubber trim and you push it around the glass, in between the glass and the frame. And that secures it and tightens the glass up completely and makes it weatherproof. Can you remember saying my lintel was not level back earlier in the video? Well, here's the plastic trim right at the top. So I've stuck this on with some silicone as I've sealed the door, and it's covered up that imperfection perfectly, and it's very less noticeable than it would have been if I'd have started leveling out the lintel and chopping out my bricks, and the bricks would have been different sizes, which would have been a pain. So I just think this is the easiest way, and you can't tell from looking at it that it's not a level lintel at all, and it doesn't affect the door whatsoever because I've used the packers at different levels. So just to let you know, that's what that is there. So now I got my door in, I could finish off my plasterboarding, and that's basically just boarding up to the door there, all round, ready for the plasterer.
And there it is, the finished article. Bifold door heaven. Look at it swing open, flip forward, and slide to the right. Could be a song, that. There we are, your garden. Wow, it smells so fresh. That summer air coming in. I just want to sit down now with a glass of wine. But I'm not, I'm closing it back up again. There we go. Goodbye. Click in place. Outside for the last leaf. Call them leaves, these. The glass doors. Up, shut, done. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.